it's an exciting process, you know. It's everyone that's been in bands will know, you know, playing live, I think, and recording is the you know, it's all that hard work you put into, you know, hearing it come together as and when it does is really exciting.
Talked about and put off doing a full-length album for a long time, and in the end we got into the studio and did some writing and just came up with so much stuff.
We've kind of sat back and taken the time to make 10 songs that we're, you know, really happy with.
No matter how many times you play them in the rehearsal room, until you sort of capture it live, you know, capture it on record and hear it through the big studio speakers, that it starts to sort of come to where you wanted it to be. That's a ridiculous sentence.
I think with the new songs, we wrote them all over a few weekends. We've been going away and doing these writing weekends where the four of you just go away and we stay in a place, like we board there, we play cards and we play music as well. So, and probably drink too much. But and we wrote basically everything instrumentally in those 2 weekends. We must have written about 12, 14 tracks. And then we took them away, and so the writing process has been slightly different.
I think that's my favourite bit of being in a band anyway, really, is writing and jamming stuff out. But yeah, it was quite different because we sort of went away and locked ourselves in the studio for 3 or 4 days and sort of spent like 8, 9 hours a day sort of jamming stuff. Whereas before it had been sort of 3 hours one week and then you'd wait a fortnight and do another 3 hours. So it was really nice to have that intensive time together.
Loved it, absolutely loved it, because I can't force creativity like that. We have done in the past, but to take ourselves off somewhere, lock ourselves up, away from anybody, 12 hours playing a day, it was the ability to actually come away from it. It was like, look, nothing's happening right now, let's step away from it, go outside, have a coffee, have a fag, and then the ability to just come back and everything be set back up. Oh, that idea, let's go. You know, it just was so, you know, it was so productive.
We're kind of pulling from a lot of different places and taking things that bit heavier when it's kind of a bit more rocking, and then kind of that bit further back and more chilled out in certain places. So I think we've kind of taken the stuff we've done before and everything's kind of maybe pushed to the extreme a bit more.
Today we are in Brighton Electric, Studio Room 1, it's day 1 of the Quiet Lions album recording. We're working with Mark Roberts. We were looking for someone that could kind of capture more of the live essence of our sound.
On this, either lay right back or just try it on that other crash, because I think the intro you do on that.
What, just chorus on that crash, you reckon?
Maybe try it, yeah. It's just less intrusive.
Mark has been kind of, well, recorded a lot of bands that we've played with and respect, certainly in the Brighton scene, and just really happy with the sound that he's got, and him being a drummer as well. It's great to have him doing all the drum stuff, and just generally everything he touches just sounds wicked, and we love it all. So for him to be on board is wicked, and really excited to hear what he kind of comes out with it all, really.
Rich and I wanted to track together, not to save time really, but just to capture more of a live, live vibe, which I think we have again. So to do it with somebody else to bounce off and have a bit of the music going on as well. You know, we didn't bother doing guide tracks, which and I know are parts at the back of our hands, but it's just so nice to have some music coming back, not just recording to a cold click, And I think it's made what's there for the lads to record over now, guitars wise, a lot more. It just sounds more together, more live and more raw, and yeah, I'm really happy with what we've done actually. We're really getting to the the crux of that, you know, just heavier, meatier, the heavier bits heavier, the melodic bits more melodic, and everything sitting in its place more, you know, better.
It just sounds so smooth when it's recorded. I'm really happy with the sounds of the instruments, the sound of the guitars and the drum sounds. Yeah, I can't wait to sort of hear it fully mixed up, because it's already sort of quite exciting. It sounds really raw, and it's exactly what we sort of set out to achieve, really. Everything we've recorded before, it's all been kind of, say, crammed into like 4 or 5 days or like a week, and you always kind of feel like you're against the clock. Whereas this way, it's been really relaxed. If we feel like we want to really hone in on something and, you know, just mess around with some pedals and get a really cool sound and, you know, have the time to do that, then it's totally cool. So we've really benefited from that, I think, this time round.
So at the moment we are in Saltdean. We are just about to complete the vocals on the album. So it's last night we are recording with our friend Josh. We're downstairs at the moment finishing it off, sounding really good. And this is the final part of our recording.
From the sand, it's too late to clean your hands.
Finally, we're kind of nearing the end of the process. Having separated everything up, we've actually had quite a bit of time from doing the drums and bass at Brighton Electric, then all the guitars at Small Pond, and now the vocals here, which has actually been really good, because it's given us a bit of time to sit on everything. At this point now, you know, everything's kind of sounding fine, like polished and finished off, and, you know, we're just all really excited to have it nearly there and ready for everyone to listen to.
Yeah, yours is great. Sounds great.
We all love singing, and there's sort of a tendency to just sing harmonies on everything, which is great live, you know, and it does work, but I think that we've got the right balance on this, and I think live you do get those nice floaty harmonies, but you also get some pretty dirty sections as well.
The whole time that Quiet Lines has been a band, we've kind of been chasing that kind of sound that we've been looking for something, and I think that we've kind of almost found it with this, really.
I think it's more of a cohesive piece than either of the last 2 EPs, and obviously they had a shorter track, you know, a shorter track listing of it. I think this is a more grown up and just better written, better produced and better performed thing than we've done before, I think.
Yeah, I guess when you're in a band, it's kind of like being in a relationship, and obviously when you go and you embark on something like this, it's quite a big project. And I always think, you know, a debut album is something that just, you put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it, and a lot of time. And I think, going through that process together obviously brings you closer, I think, as, you know, as friends.